Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. We are so excited to welcome you all to the first ever customer summit for ArangoDB. We're excited to bring a number of announcements and sharing with you a lot of the great innovation that we've been doing. But the thing that I'm most excited about for you and all of us is to hear from all our customers and thought leaders on how graph technology can really change the course of our business. We live in a new era of innovation, and it is really important that we all understand the impact we can make. And we believe at ArangoDB, we've already made a lot of impact, but we are just getting started. Welcome, and my name is Shekhar Iyer. I'm the CEO of ArangoDB, and today is October 4th, and we have a great few days ahead of us. Let me start by telling you a little bit of the agenda that we have for you. First of all, I want to share a little bit of my background and really share the journey I've been through and what brought me to ArangoDB, and so excited about the next phase of growth. I'll try to answer in as simple a way as possible why graph matters and why should it even exist. There are so many databases, and it's important to answer that very seminal question. I want to share with you our vision and mission and purpose. Over the last 6 months since I've come to ArangoDB, I've worked with the team, and I want to share what we have come up with and how we are going to make a difference for you. I believe technology is a supreme catalyst, but the important thing at the end of the day is the business impact. It's important that whatever we do really helps to move your business forward fast. We are very committed to customer experience, and technology is technology. If it's not easy to use, it will never get adopted. So we will share what are the things we are doing to make that really relevant for you. And then there are a few final thoughts that I'll share with you. So let's start off with a little bit of an introduction. I just want to share with you my history and background and also my journey to ArangoDB. My world started long ago. I am an engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer, an industrial engineer. My first few jobs were around supply chain. And really, it's been close to 30 years. And I have been up and down the stack, from data to analytics to AI to infrastructure to applications. And I think this has been an incredible experience for me. And then when I came across Arango and started researching graph technologies, I just felt it was on the cusp of exploding. I think this experience of building apps and dealing with infrastructure, implementing the first internet products right in the mid-90s to now, and all the innovation that's going on, really makes me feel very excited. I've been fortunate to work for companies like Informatica and SAS and SAP. I've worked for small startups like Couchbase and StreamSets, and even started companies right from scratch. So I know whether you're a large company, a mid-sized company, or a small company, what you need to really help accelerate your innovation. And we are excited, and I am very proud of all that Arango has done and what we will continue to do, and share with you the excitement for this category. So why am I excited? If you look at this graph, and this is from DB Engines, there has been the rise of graph databases. We all know there are a lot of databases out there, lots of different categories. Last I checked, there were almost 350 different companies that are there. But if you look at that top line, the green line, that is for graph databases. Over the 9 years, this is one of the fastest growing segments in the whole database category. Now, according to Gartner, just the graph database market will be $3.2 billion by 2025. Not only that, this is growing at a compound annual rate of almost 28%. But you know what? This proves this is not just a niche market. This is a very important segment in the database market. But what is even more exciting, that it is a part of a broader category, the BI, data and analytics. And this is where I feel we haven't even scratched the surface of how graph technologies can really affect and help you in the almost $30 billion segment. And we all know the database market is a huge market that's close to 80 billion. So when you look at all these elements, and these are external Gartner or other industry analysts that are providing this, there is a lot of headroom. And if you're just getting into graph databases, you're in the right place. Let's also understand the fast adoption graph technologies are happening. If you look at this quote by Gartner, Marv, and Afraz, by 2025, graph technologies will be used in 80% of data and analytics innovations. Now that is pretty mind-blowing, 80%, but what is really even more exciting is that it is going to be up from only 10% in 2021. And this will facilitate the rapid decision-making across the enterprise. This is important, but again, as I said, this is just something that's already happening and that will make a big impact. But where things get really exciting is where AI, the future of AI, focuses on graph modeling. Graph AI is becoming fundamental to anti-fraud, influence analysis, sentiment monitoring, market sentiment, engagement optimization, and other applications where complex patterns must be rapidly identified. I underline the word rapidly identified. This is a quote from Information Week in February 2021. This is really important because there is no dearth of technology. There's no dearth of data and the expansion that's happening. But what people are struggling with is how to rapidly identify the opportunities and the insights to make a difference. And there are lots of AI, ML projects going on, but really, we believe that graph modeling and the impact graph can make to this segment is huge. And we'll be talking a little bit more about it. And our CTO, Jorg, and CPO, Claudius, will talk more about all the things that we're delivering and bringing to market for you. You know, when I joined Arango, one of my friends said, "Oh my God, not yet another database. Why does the world need another database?" In fact, I was almost going to play the Tina Turner song, which says, "We don't need yet another hero." And it's like, we don't need another graph database or a database for that matter. But I will give you a very simple answer. There is very much a need for graph database. There are many different databases, and they all bring their own unique dimension. But for the world we live in today, the complexity that we're dealing with, the way that data morphs and changes, and the insights that we need for dealing with customers, supply chains, and other things, there is actually no better database than a graph database. Now, you know, when I joined Arango, my wife asked me, why and what is the need for a graph database and what is the difference between it? Isn't there enough Oracle to last many generations? So why do we need Arango? So let me try to answer this and explain as best as I can in a simple way why. Relational databases have been here for decades, close to almost 40 years. There is a place for them. There will always be a place for them. Just like you know, there is mainframe that's still there, relevant for many things. But as we look forward and we look for where we are today in the next 5, 10 years and the rapid changes that are happening, SQL databases really focused, and it's not their fault. That's the way it was designed 40 years ago. It's rows and columns. They're very discrete. They're not connected. And when you are trying to find the relationship, it takes a lot of time and energy and cost. And the speed and performance that you get to do the simple things that's needed for the relationships just do not work. You will hear this from a number of our customers who have tried to use relational for some of the use cases or many of the more relevant graph use cases. Whereas the graph database, it really captures the dependencies and relationships between the data elements. So whether how is one product related to a user, to a location, to a point in time, and how that evolves, and to be able to do that in a very rapid manner. This is the fundamental reason why graph databases exist, and they are making a huge impact. It is important that we make relationships a first-class citizen. And what ArangoDB does is really turns the value of those relationships into actionable results and insights. And more importantly, data relationships are the foundation of AI and ML models. We want to make things simpler and easier and faster, and the graph connection, that network effect, makes that happen. This is just not possible through SQL. While there's a place for it, you really should not be looking at legacy solutions for the future innovation and projects that you're working on. So this is the way I explained it to my wife. She kind of bought it for a little while, but then it really came about. And what are we trying to do here at Arango? What is our vision and our mission? And what is the purpose with which we come every day to work? So let me explain a little bit about that. Number one thing, we believe we want to be in a world and promote a world where both experts and non-experts, and it has to be both, that can make an impact and get those deeper insights and create more powerful innovations. I say this because it's really deeper insights. There are so many BI tools, there are so much AI and ML modeling and other things, but it is really important that the deep insight really leads to powerful innovations. 2, what is our mission? We want to make it easier for all our community members, our customers, and partners to drive value. I repeat, drive value from connected data and to do it faster than ever before. The reason this is important, it has to be easy. Many people think that graph technology is still too complex. Some of them are right. We will tell you how we are doing it right to make it easier for you. That's number one. Number two, there has to be clear business benefit. There's got to be an ROI. There's got to be a value. And then it has to be done fast. By the time you find the answer, we all know the questions change. So how can we not only answer the questions of today, but tomorrow and day after? So that speed of innovation is critical. Our purpose. We believe in the fundamental importance and power of graph technology and to solve today's biggest data and, most importantly, business problems. We have a value statement where it is not technology for the sake of technology. We must be able to make a meaningful difference and make an impact in the society and the world we live today, and that is by moving the business forward. This is our vision, this is our mission, this is the purpose with which we come every day, and we have a global team all aligned to this purpose. So, given this, what is the strategic direction ahead for ArangoDB? First of all, we are a graph-first company. I know a lot of you have been following us for many years. There's a lot of things that we do, but I want to be very clear. First and foremost, we are a graph-first company. Number two, we have both on-prem, hybrid, cloud solutions, and we will be able to support you in any of it. But where our supreme focus is going to be going forward is a cloud-first strategy. I will talk about why that is important and why that's important for you more than us. And the third thing, we live in a world where smart solutions are critical. How do we add intelligence? And we are going to be very much AI focused in delivering what we do. You will hear along this presentation and others how we are bringing graph ML concepts and embedding that into our solutions and making it easier for you. More than anything else, the most foundational element of our strategy is that we believe that we must elevate our game on customer experience. Arango has always been a great leader on technology and product, but what I want in the next years to come, that you all say, what an amazing job we have done from a customer experience. And what I mean by that is that supreme focus that is there right from the UI, right from the time it's easy to use. The deployments, the ease of manageability, the error handling, the architectural assets that are there, and the ecosystem that is there ready to help you. This is all important so that you are able to innovate faster. Let's talk about Graph first. You may have heard of ArangoDB as a multi-model solution. That is true. We have a lot of capabilities. But one thing I want to be clear about, while we are Graph first, we are not Graphfully. We are building on all that we have, but our key focus is to make sure we're solving graph and related problems that are there. And when you look at this, there are so many different solutions needing a graph solution. But that is not enough. And we believe our current incumbent graph technologies leave a lot to be desired. We believe the combination of search, our full text search capabilities, add a huge value add. The ability for us to do document and JSON capabilities. Number of our customers have given us this feedback. You have done such a great job, and keep building on it. We will continue to do that, and we believe our motto is graph done right. You will hear more about this, because just being narrowly focused on a few things is not enough, but we are very focused on how graph and all the other elements that we bring really accelerate the innovation that you have and also bring less complexity and speed of innovation. Look at this list. Look at this list of customers. And you know what? This is what was so exciting for me. I have reached out to a number of customers to find out what they're doing. Whether it's identity management, entity resolution, network asset management, supply chain, bill of materials, product, supply chain elements, graph databases, knowledge graphs, customer 360, fraud analytics. We're very excited that we have such incredible customers, whether they're small companies, large companies, mid-sized companies, global 100 companies that are using this already. They have already paved the path for you, already using this one platform for so many different use cases. We're very excited to be partnering with all these companies, and we look forward to working with you further on this. Let's talk a little bit about why the cloud deployment is so important. I believe that there's two fundamental reasons. One, I believe, and I've seen this in multiple companies, it will help you innovate faster. If you are able to leverage the cloud managed services solutions, it takes away 70 to 80% of all the inertia that is there. This is really important. Not only that, if ArangoDB is focused on a cloud platform and deliver to that, we can help accelerate all the innovation we get to you faster that you can consume in a faster way. The second important thing is cost. And I'm talking about the total cost of ownership. I sometimes see customers and prospects saying, well, this is how much is the AWS or Azure cost. That's just the tip of the iceberg. You have to look at the DevOps, the SRE, the manageability, all the elements that is there to help from software development to the actual service, the management, and the upkeep of that. We believe if you really look at it in its entirety, this could be even 50% lower cost. Not only that, I've been a part of some of these startup companies, and if there's one thing I've seen is that we did not move fast enough to the cloud, and that is what our customers really do need and want. And sometimes they don't even know about it, but that is something that will help them. If you're still not believing, you still are a little skeptical, Let me just tell you, having been almost 3 decades in this industry, I have never seen a shift to a technology like a cloud platform ever before. I was there writing some of the first internet products in the mid-90s. But what I have seen, whether it's regulated companies, whether it's government, these companies are all already on the cloud. They're doing projects on the cloud. And needless to say, they are just born native cloud companies that are billions of dollars in size. And if you look at some of the most innovative companies, they have adopted it. You know, the story about AWS is really important here. Why did it even come about? Because as Amazon was innovating and trying to get more and more services and solutions to its customers in a very fast manner, they really felt this hindrance of getting this technology assets and infrastructure set up. So that was one of the genesis of why they internally built AWS to support the innovation. Now, when they got access capacity, they say, if we are doing this for ourselves, why can't we offer this service to everybody else? And that is how AWS was born. And now you have Azure and Google and so many other vendors. There is a very real, valid business reason for this. And yes, security, governance, risk management is really important. In this world, when there is so much of fraud and other things that are attacking us, you need to be secure. We have invested in it. We have got SOC 2 Type 1 compliance done. We are continuing to do other security features, penetration testing and other things, because we want to make sure when we recommend our solution that you have the confidence we are ready to roll and be able to work with you in any environment against any of the threats that are there. I really seriously say, if you haven't already done this, try our cloud solution. And it is really important because I think it can make a big difference to the speed in which how you deliver. Let me talk a little bit about our cloud customers and momentum. Our cloud service has been built and evolved over the last 4 years. This is not something that just came out yesterday. This is a really important aspect. We have hardened it. Over 100 plus customers from various industries and geographies and sizes have used it and continue to use it. And what it has done for them is the fast deployment and ramp up. From the time they experiment, they prototype, they're playing around with it, they're able to get it up and running. And then there's the efficient use of resources. So people are innovating, not working on infrastructure management. A number of our current on-prem self-deployed customers are saying, Shekhar, please give us a cloud solution. And they continue to urge us to do more and more. We are more than happy to do that. And that's why when you look at our customer base, whether it's fintech innovators like Brex or E.ON, which is one of the largest energy management companies in Europe, to Cars24, which is a unicorn based out of India, Altana, that's disrupting supply chain management solutions, or Decoded Health, which is dealing with healthcare efficiencies, they're all using our cloud solution. They've all gone through all the security, compliance, and other elements, and they're getting huge advantage of this. Let me give you a little example and talk a little bit more about Decoded Health. Decoded Health is a small, innovative company. They are using graph-powered machine learning to really transform healthcare with models and ontologies. So what does Decoded Health do? And by the way, they will be speaking in one of the sessions over the next 2 days. They are bringing AI-based patient engagement solution that augments the clinical staff. We all know the incredible strain that has been put on the healthcare system. And what they're doing is applying a graph-powered ontology model to let patients express their concerns, ask questions through a fully natural language conversation dialogue. So when they were looking for a solution, what were their requirements? They said they wanted flexibility, they wanted ease of use, and they wanted the minimum number of moving parts. They didn't want 10 different databases and different flavors of it. And then working with us, they leveraged our cloud, and you may know it as Oasis. They saw the combination of graph and search and document, what we call graph done right. And we were able to replace other technologies like Elasticsearch, which was just an overkill for them. And then the cloud solution really helped them when they have limited resources. They don't need to do database management. They were able to move ahead very quickly. They were able to simplify the elements of their solution, and they were able to get a lot of operational efficiency. This is just one example of many, many that are out there. And this gives you an example of why you should be looking at our cloud solution. Now, let's take a pause. You know, we've been all in this database market, or if some of you are new, it typically starts off, there is a database. It's storing data, transactional data, or analytical data. Invariably, there is some querying and being able to get access to that data. Then people want to do analytics on top of that data. And then a lot of machine learning and AI is put in. Why is all this done? It's so that people can build smart solutions. I believe this is just a natural evolution. This is a constant evolution, and the innovation is being done in all these aspects. What we are now focused on, because we have seen the power of this, is that if we can put the AI elements into a solution, this will create tremendous value for our customers. Why do I say that? Because we have seen this already done. If you look at the leading innovators, they have already built homegrown GraphML solutions. I want to share this with you because this is really important. This is a very strategic part of where Arango is going forward. In fact, today, as I was coming from my home in San Francisco to the studio, I used the ETA of Google Maps. How long will it take me based on this time of day and all this traffic shenanigans that are there for me to get from point A to point B? I'm not sure if you know, this is built on a homegrown model, a graph model. So you can do the estimated arrival times, the delivery services, helping with supply chain. This is what Google is doing under the covers. If you look at Uber Eats, the recommendation and search engine, it's amazing how Uber is able to know exactly the day I'm going to eat that chicken tikka masala, or it's time for basil Thai chicken, or that coconut rice that I want. And not only that, it says, hey, maybe you need a little bit of this and that, because I'm ordering not just for myself, but also my wife. So they know the next best action. Again, if you look at it, it's the graph. Which consumer, what product, what time of day, what are the combinations that are there, what would be a good recommendation that is there. Again, Uber has those resources. They have those thousands of data scientists that are doing this. There is a lot of work that is happening in drug discovery and drug repurposing. In fact, a lot of the innovation that has happened, a lot of the medical energies were put in looking at existing drugs, and they could be repurposed for COVID or other diseases or other elements that are there. So again, being able to model this, looking at the DNA structures and other things, this is able to do pattern matching. Fraud analytics and fraud detection. In this digital world, we know the kind of cyber complexity, attacks that are going on, the phishing that's going on, and it is really important that while we digitize, while we move to the web, the only thing that can prevent it is if we are not secure in that world. Again, huge complex problems that are being solved by GraphML and homegrown solutions. Now, here's really the point. I know you all want to do it out there, but you say, Shekhar, we can't hire 1,000 data scientists. We don't even have 1,000 people in our company. And that is exactly the reason why we are coming out with our GraphML solution. And this is going to be one of the biggest things we believe is an innovation that is going to help accelerate things like never before. Now, here's the truth, the ugly truth and the real truth. Many years ago, Harvard Business Review said, data scientists, this is the sexiest job of the 21st century. True. But then when you look at the reality of what all these data scientists have to do, from configuration, collection, data management, measurement, servers, performance, monitoring, only a small part of it is the ML and modeling and all the cool stuff that they love to do. The fact is, it's a very painful, cumbersome process. I know there are a number of data scientists and other people joining us today. What has been our mission, and this is one thing, this is a brainchild of our CTO, where we want to bring a simple, low-code ML platform. We are announcing that today. We are very excited for you to see, enjoy, experience it, and be a part of it and see the impact it can make. And we are so excited. And we believe with this, the data scientists can become the sexiest job of not just the 21st, but the 22nd century. We believe there is so much innovation yet to be tapped, but all this inertia, all the obstacles have been getting in the way of having meaningful business impact. So when you look at all this, what is ArangoDB doing? We are very proud to announce the Arango Graph Insights platform. We've been working very hard to bring all these things together. How do we bring GraphML? How do we bring the cloud strategy? How do we bring all the goodness of all that we've been doing from a graph and search and document basis? And why have we done this? We want innovation to be accelerated. That is what is our mantra. We want to give you a platform that is easy, highly functional, powerful for you to do the job that you need to do. And that is why we feel very excited to offer this platform to all of you today. So let's talk a little bit more about this. Some of you have been with us for many years, some of you for maybe a year or less, and some of you don't even know what Arango is, and you got an email and you were finding out, what does ArangoDB do? Well, I want to talk about some of the products that we already have, some of the new things we have, and what does it mean? ArangoDB, the database, still exists. It is the integrated platform with search, JSON support. We have the powerful AQL, Arango query language. Number of customers have said how easy and powerful it is, how easy it is to learn if you come from a SQL background. And we will continue to provide this in a self-managed environment. There is going to be the community edition, there is the enterprise edition. And by the way, some of our customers do have a self-managed and a cloud. They are experimenting, they're looking at the cloud solutions, and they will evolve and develop beyond that. Now, what we are so excited about is the Arango Graph Insights platform. This is a managed service. And like I said, when it is a cloud service, I really believe 50 to 80% of all that infrastructure management is taken away. You will be able to tap into this service, and we have different options. You may decide to go on the professional version, which is a pay-as-you-go. Perfectly fine. You're experimenting, you're prototyping, you don't have the scale, it's not as critical. When you're ready to migrate to the enterprise version, you need more support, 24/7 support. There are more capabilities and features and more robust things that we create. So depending on wherever you are in your journey map, we will provide it. And as I mentioned, we have launched our beta version of Arango Graph ML. This is going to be provided in our platform, and this is going to be something that you can experiment with. And Claudius and Jorg will talk a little bit more about that. So we're very excited about our platform. We believe that we want to obviously take you with us in this journey, all our existing customers and community members. There are things that we're going to help you with the migration if you're interested. We highly encourage you to, because a lot of the things that we're going to bring out first will come in the Insights platform, in our managed service. It is easier for us to innovate quickly in one area and get it to you and all of you in a very concise way and in a very structured way, in a very secure manner to do that. We've talked a lot about technology and innovation. And trust me, being an engineer, I believe that technology is such a catalyst. But for me, it is all meaningless if it does not make business impact. I believe somewhat our world has, and our technology world has become too filled with jargon and throwing out concepts, but not relating it to the business impact that we make. And that's where I wanted to spend the next few minutes talking about that, because for me, that is what I ask. I always ask, what are we doing to help the customer? What is the business problem? I want to take 3 examples here to bring this to life. You know, if you look at it at the most macro level, businesses, companies are trying to reduce cost. They are either trying to acquire customers or retain customers so that they can increase their top line. And they are trying to protect from risk and fraud, security breaches, cybersecurity, which is such an important part of our life, unfortunately, these days, so that you can protect, you can take care of your customers, you can make sure that they're right cost efficiencies. I want to kind of illustrate how ArangoDB is creating value, and all of these customers will be talking in some shape or form. Altana is doing some amazing things with supply chain analytics. HP, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, is doing some amazing things on network asset management. And OPSEC, a company that's partnering with us, is doing some amazing things in fraud analytics. Let's talk a little bit about each of these use cases. And by the way, Altana will be talking shortly afterwards. I highly recommend you hear about it. Supply chain is near and dear to my heart. That's the way I started my career. And Altana is a company that is trying to build safe and resilient supply chain companies. They are helping various companies. They have over 500 billion data points and other elements. They are trying to map the logistics to make sure the shipments are done right. The people who are building these things are doing it in the right ethical manner. And it really is, when they were looking for a solution, they wanted scale, they wanted breadth, and they wanted something that was easy to manage. And why they chose us was because of our scalability, our operational efficiency. They started off in our professional cloud version. They migrated to enterprise, and they continued to deploy more and more of their supply chain models in our framework. Their users and developers love AQL, the query language. This is really important. When you have such massive scale, the ease with which you can use the data, understand the data, appreciate the analytics is critical. Also, they are ultimately forecasting better for their customers, the supply chain. They're able to do route optimization, speed of shipments. There isn't a day that goes by without hearing there is some supply chain problem. So trust me, we are all affected by this. And then the interoperability, which is also very important. I know that Jorg will talk more about it, but it is very important that we are not asking you to rip and replace what you have. We augment what you have. In some cases, we may be able to do certain things better. That is your choice. But we really provide a value-added system on top of what you have. And they're making a huge difference in the supply chain domain. Let's talk about HPE. What they're trying to do is they are transforming a legacy product line that is there. They are providing AI-powered cloud-based networking service. Whether it's wireless, wired, WAN infrastructure, there are so many aspects of technology in any company today. And what they're trying to do is make sure their customers have the right visibility. They know where their assets are, how they're performing, and they're able to identify issues and threats and solve it before it happens. They wanted both an on-prem and a cloud model. We provided that. You can imagine the scale of all these IoT devices and all the data that it's transmitting. And this is resulting in huge volume. So again, scalability, which is one of the key strengths of ArangoDB. They chose us for the scalability, high availability, and also the optimization we can do with smart graphs and satellite collections and joins and other things. Again, as I said, these are things that relational databases just cannot do. This is why you need the graph databases, and they're getting immense business benefit out of it. And this is something that is going to be used by over 10,000 users of HPE customers that are running various networks. Mission critical, absolutely important to make sure we all are also using in some shape or form these services, that they're kept up to date, reliable, and robust. Let's talk about fraud detection with OPSEC. What OPSEC does is brand infringement and detection. It provides, the world is a great place on the web, and it's a very dangerous place on the web. And this is really where, while 90, 95, maybe 98% of the people are good, honest citizens, there are these fraudulent players. And they are scamming and doing things that are selling counterfeit goods and other things. And that is why we need companies like OPSEC. They are working with marketplaces like Amazon and eBay and Alibaba and make sure that these fraudsters are caught quickly and shut down. They wanted to be able to do the deep analysis because these fraudsters aren't publicizing, hey, I'm a fraudster. They are well camouflaged. So you need to be able to get to that insight quickly. Be able to do that fuzzy match. Make sure people aren't using different names, addresses, but pointing to the same thing. Do a better job of visualization with as little coding as possible. And that is, again, why they chose Arango. And we have been partnering really well with them on scalability, on speed, and on productivity. Sometimes you don't have thousands of data scientists. So working with us, they're able to reduce the requirements and the skill base they need. And this is a huge new product line that they have been able to launch. Amazing stories, business impact, and that's just 3. We have close to 150 customers, whether it's small, medium, large, whether it's in Asia, Europe, North America, South America. We have companies that are using already for so many use cases. We really believe that we can help you. And we wanted to share all the experiences of these companies. And that is what is also the exciting part of this summit for me. When we are able to see and hear these companies, their journeys, and what they've done, I really feel that you will get inspired with what is happening, what you can do, and I hope you get struck by a bolt of inspiration for the next innovation project. So, let me come to a very important aspect of what is a fundamental value for us as a company. Customer experience, and this is something that I said to the team. I was so proud of our team in what they've done in building the product. It has always been a very inward-focused company. How do we build the best product? What can we do to innovate? How can we differentiate? They spend so much of their time and energy in doing that. At the same time, I really do believe that we need to step up and really do game-changing things for customer experience, for all our customers, our community, and our partners. Why is that? I believe while there's such incredible potential for graph technology, the adoption has not been as fast and as aggressive as we would have hoped. So let's talk about that, because we need to be real. We can all say how this is the next thing since sliced bread, but we must almost figure out how do we get the bread on the table, how do we put it with the butter or jam that you need so it's easy to consume. The first problem has been the skills and knowledge level. It is a new technology. There is a new paradigm that is there. And I believe there is definitely a lot more work we all need to do to help with the skills and knowledge on how to use graph technology. So that's number one. Number two, because then this is just always normal for any technology innovation and evolution, the mindset shift has to happen from relational to graph. It is so amazing to hear so many customers say, oh, I tried to use relational, I kept banging my head, finally realized it's not going to work after so much time and effort. I think you should be listening to some of the customers that are going to be talking. There's some great sessions like JavaSoft and Finite State and so many others. There's a whole set of that will talk specifically about how they really tried to use relational, but it just did not do the job that they needed. Three, there is still complexity. We throw a lot of jargon, all these algorithms, shortest path, complexity, simplicity, this, that. There are hundreds and thousands of complex algorithms and methods that are there. It's all needed. It's all important. It's all what makes a difference. But there's too much complexity. And as I said, our vision was both experts and non-experts should be able to use this technology for the good that they're trying to do. The other problem that we've seen is sometimes people are able to do a POC, but that does not equal a real implementation. And this is really where I feel some of the existing graph vendors have done us a disservice. They just don't have the performance and scale. They make it seem like a small POC can be done, but when it's really put in the big blue ocean, it gets lost. It does not deliver the real value. And this is where we believe we're doing graph the right way. And for us, all of these challenges are our challenges. We have to make this graph technology adoption a much faster curve. And we really believe with what we're doing with our Arango Graph Insights platform, creating this in a cloud, it will compress a lot of the elements so that adoption happens faster. As I said, our mission is to make it easier for our community, our customers and partners to drive value from connected data faster. So what are we doing? This is one area where we're going to be investing a lot more. We have a lot of assets. We have a lot of things with all the customers that you've seen. But the first step is education. Our beloved graph course that some of you may have taken, we are first of all bringing it online, and I'll talk about some of the things that will help you learn faster. Some of you may be experts. Some of you might be just dabbling, and some of you have no clue. We will give you a step-by-step education program. This university that we're creating will continue to give you the education that you need so that you can go out there and solve these problems. Second, even though you have the right learning and training, we believe we can do a better job in bringing the templates and courses and specific functionalities that you need. How do I do sharding? How do I do the proper smart graphs? How do I do traversals? How can I optimize the queries? Because these are all things that sometimes once you get to a certain stage, you get tripped up. We want to make sure we are accelerating you through to the final value creation. The other thing is, some of you might be on the on-prem self-deployed world. You want to migrate to the cloud. We are bringing migration services. There are elements that are very discrete, like a migration agent and other things, and also with our partners, so that you get the complete life cycle and we can help accelerate this. Let's talk about the education. Education is the key. We have launched, and you can register for the online training. The beauty of this, and like I said, if we are a cloud-first company, everything we do should be on the cloud. You do not need to install anything. You will get launched an instance of our cloud platform. And what is the beauty of this is as you are working interactively, you can build things, you can ask questions, you can see if you're getting your answers right. And there's a step-by-step method in which you can interact and get knowledgeable about graph databases. And at the end of it, When you pass the foundation, you will be a certified graph database ninja. So we will give you that certificate and you can proudly display it. There is a lot of value in that as we are building the ecosystem. And also, you know that you have the fundamentals that's needed to be successful in these projects, and you're set up in the right way. Another very important thing where we are focusing on is the ecosystem. I fundamentally believe that it takes an ecosystem to raise a smart solution. Yes, we all know it takes a village to raise a child. I equally believe that the smart solutions need different elements. We are not going to be here claiming we do everything. We believe we are partnering with a lot of great people out there so that whether it is a data management problem or a cloud architecture, whether it's special data platforms like GPUs, whether it's data platforms like Snowflake or Databricks, whether it's UI visualization capabilities, whether it's the right AI, ML solution thinking and understanding, all of these things we are kind of putting together with our partner ecosystem. I do hope you'll join me for the panel discussion. We have NVIDIA, we have Latent View, we have Cleverbits, we have TCS. It's a great panel. We'll be discussing about how we do raise a smart solution, what are all the elements needed to make sure that some of these complex problems and projects and solutions that you're developing can be done the right way, you get the right best practices, and you're able to really leverage all the assets in a very powerful, compelling way. I believe this is important. You have to sometimes go slow to go fast. If you do it right, if you put the right foundational elements in place, this will be very critical. So we are investing a lot of time and energy. And if you're out there as a partner and you want to partner with us, please connect with our partner team. We are very motivated to make sure we're all successful, and ultimately our customers who are determining these solutions and deploying them have the best chance of success. Finally, it's been quite a journey. I still remember about 2.5 years ago, very vividly, March 9th was when San Francisco got shut down because of COVID, shelter in place. I remember leaving my office, going to all the supermarkets and getting groceries and loading up and huddling back home. COVID was incredibly brutal on all of humanity. And where it started and how it spread across the globe and the impact it made, at least in my lifetime, truly extraordinary. I'm sure there are others that were a part of World War and the impact it made, but I think this thing truly touched all of us. But you know what? When I look back now and look at the power of human ingenuity, adaptability, who would have thought we could have run our business, grown our economies, grown our businesses on the last 2.5 years through Zoom or Teams or conference calls? This is the power of human beings. This is the power when we look at problems not as debilitating, but as challenges for us to conquer. And hats off to all those medical scientists that created the vaccines and other things. Look at what technology has done. Look at what human spirit has done. And that is what is so incredibly invigorating. Why am I so excited here standing in front of you? I feel graph technologies in its own way can make a huge impact to the world at large. There are so many challenges, supply chain and medical drug discovery and fraud and cybersecurity, being able to interact with customers better, giving them better recommendations, making it easy for them. And I am very privileged and humbled with all the customers and partners and community members that have chosen to be on the journey with us. And I reach out to all of you who do not know us to become a part of this journey and see what graph technologies can do. We are so incredibly proud of what we are doing, and yet we know the work ahead of us is so much ahead. But one thing is very clear. We, the people of ArangoDB, wake up every day to figure out how to make the world better, and we want to help you to help the innovation be accelerated. We believe there is so much more to do, and we know we can. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of this. We have, I believe, a great show over the next 2 days. There are a number of customers and thought leaders. Please engage, please interact, be a part of this community, and really get the best of all that we have to offer. I wish you a really good day and look forward to engaging with you over the next 2 days. Thank you very much.